Very good morning, everyone. Start the chat, please. Very good morning. We are meeting after the test. There are 3 corrections in one of the papers. I hope you are aware of that. In the Tuesday paper, I believe. In the Tuesday paper, there are 3 corrections. Good morning. Good morning, Storm Gaming Telugu, sir. Telugu. Storm Gaming FF. What's your name, beta? Can you say your name? Rutvika, good morning, beta. Good morning, Rutvika. Sharanya, good morning. Amritanand, very good name. Wow. Amritanand. Very good. Naveed, good morning. Purnesh, good morning. Karthik, good morning. Gopi Krishna, good morning. Swati, good morning. Sudhir, good morning. Sharanya, happy morning. Yes, Gnaneshwar, Sai, good morning. Sudhir, good morning. Ramesh, good morning. Now, very good. Ananya, good morning. Good morning, bacho. Tell me, so we are meeting at, I think after the test, it is a second meeting. We met once after the test, no? There are 3 corrections in the paper, and in the second paper, that is a Tuesday paper, and those some students have also written to me, and I said, yes, this should be the answer, and thankfully, the teacher who made the paper accepted all the 3 claims. 2 more questions not corrected. No, 3 questions are corrected, beta. 3 claims are there. I think you got those claims, or shall I tell you? Because what numbers I am having are the numbers of the question paper of offline, not the online one. So you can just say one word of the paper of that question. I will tell you what is the answer, because a lot of discussions happen for 2 questions. And certainly they are very, very ordinary. I mean, like, it's not that they are very close, very close. They are ordinary questions like compound epithelium. It must be correct. The answer is, it is a correct explanation only, right? Yes, sir, but marks not added in online, sir. ऐप में ऐड नहीं किया, ऐप में ऐड नहीं किया, ओके, ठीक है, मैं I will say to them that they will do that correction also, but my point is you should know the correct answer. So what all queries you had in the mind, some students also wrote to me, and maximum I answered. I remember maximum of the questions I answered, but I'm telling you 3 claims are there, okay? Any doubt in that one? Okay. And last time we discussed about the bones and cartilage also. So very little you have to know about the bones and cartilage. I want to tell you one very important point here, that what is the main salt? What is the main salt of the bone? What is the main salt? Main calcium salt. Main calcium salt of the bone, okay? I'll write some questions. Let us see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Right. Main calcium salt, options between calcium carbonate and calcium phosphate. Okay. So you can write P for phosphate and C for carbonate. Main calcium salt, glandular epithelium not told. Glandular epithelium. Okay, I'll tell you. Tight junctions, adhering gap junctions, also not told. Okay, they are not told. Really? Okay? Okay, so yes, you are right. Shall I tell you that? Okay, so we are now discussing. Now all of you, please pay attention. You can, after completing this topic, you can say to me that, sir, this also please tell us, okay? So the purpose is you should know the topics. One thing is there that what is called junctional complexes Junctional complexes. Obviously, we are talking about the complexes formed between the junctions of two cells. Complexes, okay? And I will say to you only what you have to know for the NEET examination. For example, there is one cell and the other cell, okay? At this junction, some modifications happen. Some modifications happen at this junction. These are called the junctional complexes, okay? So, in which tissue we find the junctional complexes? Question number one, in which tissue junctional complexes are seen? Epithelial, connective, muscular, or all of the above? In which tissue junctional complexes are seen? I'm giving you even better questions than that. Tell me, beta. Is it epithelial, connective, muscular, or all of the above? Correct answer is no, 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 no. All of the above. First answer, gonadids, yes, in all of these. Junctional complexes in all tissues, all animal tissues. Everyone, please learn. You are not in front of me, so that I want you to recall with me, say with me, but in all animal tissues, junctional complexes are present. Is this point clear to you? Right? But in epithelial, they are mostly present. So if you have to choose one, then of course, question number two, mainly present in the epithelial. However, this is not a very good question. The good question is this one, and you can also refer to your NCERT for this. You can refer to NCERT that in all animal tissues, junctional complexes are seen, but they are mainly found in the epithelial. And do you know the reason for that? What is the reason for that? The reason for that is cells are compactly packed. Unless the cells are very close, how come they have some complex at their junction? There is no junction formed. For example, in areolar tissue or any connective tissue per se, cells are very, very far. So how come any complex can be seen in between them? So rarely we find that there are, complexes. But yes, in muscular tissue, yes, they are present in muscular tissue. They are also present in the epithelial tissue. So you have to answer that all animal tissues, junctional complexes, but they are mainly found in the epithelial. Reason? Because the cells are compactly packed. Reason being is cells are compactly packed. Are these points clear to you? Everyone done? Shall we proceed? Right. So what are the junctional complexes that we should know? There are three important junctional complexes in between the cells of tissues. Now, the first one is a cementing junction. It is a cementing, attukovadam. Attukovadam, those who know Hindi, chipakna, cement karna, to adhere to something, cementing junction, adhering junction. Therefore, these junctions are known as adhering, attukovadam, adhering junctions. Adhering junctions, okay? So what is the purpose of them? They are cementing junctions. Question number two is that another type of junction is a leak proof. It will make leak proofing. They are leak proofing junctions. Leak proofing junctions, okay? So they will do leakage. They prevent the leakage. They make the tissues leak proof. Leak proof, right? They are known as tight junctions. Tight junctions. One is cementing junction, cementing also called adhering junctions. One is a leak proofing junction, also called the tight, airtight, just like you have airtight, tight junctions. And the third one is the junction where some gaps are there, so that some connection, for rapid transfer, for rapid transfer, okay, for cytoplasmic connection, for cytoplasmic connection, for cytoplasmic connection, okay. Now this word rapid transfer is important, beta, because otherwise also there are transfers happening in between the cells, right? How? Diffusion help in movement of substances, active transport, facilitated transport. So these transports are there. But for a rapid transport or transfer, we require a space so that from that space quickly the molecules and rapid transfer of substances takes place. So this junction, the third junction, is known as the gap junctions. They are called the gap junctions. So three type of junctions are there: adhering junction, they are cementing junction; leak proofing junction, they are tight junctions; and the one that allow rapid transfer or cytoplasmic connection, they are called gap junctions. Now if I just change this and now I ask you, can you please tell me the junction which make the tissue or epithelium airtight, which does not allow leakage? What is the name of that junction? Let me see how many of you can answer me. Leak proofing junctions, okay? The one that stop leakage, that prevent leakage, they are called tight junctions. Very good. They are called tight junctions. Now the one which are cementing junctions, which allow cementing, very good. Tight junctions, good. Now cementing junctions are adhering junctions, good. Cementing junctions are adhering junctions, very good, very good. They are cementing, adhering, atokovadam, okay. The third one is for rapid transfer. What is the name of the junction for rapid transfer? Rapid transfer, very good, adhering, okay, correct. For rapid transfer, gap junctions are there. So now you identified the function and the name of the junction, right? Okay. So three type of junctions are there. Number one for cementing, they are called adhering. Number two, for preventing leakage, we can call them as tight junctions, and the third one is the gap junction. Now for the third one, learn the statement. I want you to learn the statement, and the statement is for rapid transfer of ions, small molecules and sometimes big molecules. Small molecules and sometimes big molecules. Sometimes matlab some of the big molecules. That is sometimes big molecule, right? Small molecules or sometimes big molecule. Rapid transfer. Rapid word is important here. Rapid transfer of what? Ions. Then of what? Small molecules. And third thing what? Big molecules. Are you guys with me? Clear? Understood? Right? This you have to write for the gap junctions. Okay, now gap junctions are mainly present in the at intercalated discs, present at intercalated discs in dash muscles, So in which muscle you find intercalated discs? Yes, heart muscles, good. Cardiac muscles, very good. We can call them as cardiac muscles. In cardiac muscles, at where? Intercalated discs. Now these are the fusion points. These are some fusion points, and at those fusion points, which are known as intercalated discs, some gap junctions are present. Are you guys with me? Right? So gap junctions are present at some point of fusion between the cell. I'll show you. For example, now if you see a cardiac muscle fiber, you know that this fiber is a branched fiber. Only muscle fiber where branching is there, it's a branch fiber. For example, here you see one cardiac muscle fiber, right? But in cardiac muscles, you don't want that fibers should behave independently. I mean to say, you know that you have got the two chambers, atria, and the two chambers called ventricles, and you want that both the atria and both the ventricles should contract together. I mean to say, both atria should contract together like one unit, and when it is over in 0.1 second, you want both the ventricles to contract as one unit. There should not be any delay or lag. Should not be any delay. Both the ventricles should contract as one unit. There are no thousands of cardiac muscle fiber. They all become one. They all become one, as if all are connected. As if all are connected. There is as such no barrier in between them. They all become one. There are some fusion points, and at those fusion points, you will have the gap junctions, right? So it can give a situation which is known as functionally syncytial or functionally syncytial. I tell you what is this word means, functionally syncytial. For function, the cells have become syn matlab fused. Syn means fused. Cyto means cells. As if all cells of atria are fused as one unit. All cells of ventricle are fused. Syncytial. As if they are functionally syncytial. They contract like a unit. This is attributed to, at some intercalated discs are there. For example, now this is that disc. Okay, I'll show you in bigger diagram. I'll show you. The membrane I'm making with green color. The green color is for the membrane. There are some points of fusion. I'll show two of those. This is one fiber, another fiber, point of fusion. What these point of fusions are called? Intercalated discs. These point of fusions are called intercalated discs. And here you will find some gap junctions are there. As if there are gaps. And you know that it is very difficult to make a hole in the plasma membrane because it is fluid-like. It is a fluid. So even if you dip a needle, it will make a hole. But the moment you withdraw the needle, again the gap will be filled. It is difficult. Right. So there are some special proteins which are actually surrounding this rundram or hole. Some special proteins which are surrounding this rundram. A very, very important thing. These are called the intercalated discs. These fusion points are intercalated discs. And this allow all the cells become one. This cell, they don't remain two different cells. It becomes as a single unit. This is attributed to the gap junctions in cardiac muscle fibers. Please understand this point. Cardiac muscle fibers at intercalated discs, which are the fusion points in between the two muscle fiber junction. Fiber means cell. And there you have these gap junction. And the function of the gap junction is, say with me, rapid transfer of ions, small molecules, and some big molecules. Rapid transfer of ions, small molecules, and some big molecules. Okay. Preventing leakage, tight junction. Then the one which is adhering junction is cementing junction, cementing atokovadam, and this one is the gap junction, which allow rapid transfer of ions, small molecules and some big molecules. Are you guys with me? So these are the three junctional complexes that you should know. Important one, because alternate years we are finding questions given on this. Okay, we can also you can also get a question on match the column type, or directly you can get, like for example, which of the following junctional complex allow rapid transfer, like that. Which of the following junctional complex prevent leakage? Right. Achha, one more thing. Some students are not arguing, they were asking, ki, sir, they will stop something going from inside to outside. I said, yes. They are therefore present in the many epithelial tissue they are present. They prevent leakage from inside to outside. Sir, then they allow the leakage from outside to inside also? I said, not always. But sir, what about the bacteria? If they stop the leakage, they also stop the bacterial invasion. See, bacteria is not a molecule. Bacteria is not an iron small molecule. No. Bacterial invasion is stopped by a system of defense called immune system. And I asked them, in which immunity did you notice that these tight junctions are helping? In which immunity? No, neither in innate immunity nor in acquired immunity. So don't expect them to stop the bacterial entry. They are not for stopping bacterial entry. They are generally present to stop leakage from within. Are you guys with me? Okay, so in all animal tissues, you will find these gap junctions. Okay, now if I ask you, name the junctional complex present in the cardiac muscle fibers. Name the junctional complex present in the cardiac muscle fibers. Well, I'm going to do this today itself, the muscular tissue. So I think I will do that there itself. Right now, I'll just explain you. Right. Now, muscle fibers are all, they remain together, adhere together. It doesn't happen that muscle fibers contract and the cells disintegrate, cells break from others, and the bone does not move. It doesn't happen. All the cells of muscle are very much cemented together. So which junctional complex do you expect in all the muscles? All muscles, cardiac, skeletal, visceral. Which complex you expect? Which keep all these cells together and prevent their breaking apart. Chepo. Which junctional complex you expect in all the muscle, skeletal gap, skeletal, cardiac, or even the visceral muscles, which will prevent their breaking apart, which keep the cells cemented together. Yes, Durga Prasad, your answer is correct. Blessy, your answer is correct. Kavya, your answer is correct. Yes, adhering junctions, they are present in all the three muscles. Yes, you are right. Naveed, you're right. Adhering junctions, good. Adhering junctions are present in all the three type of muscles. They keep the cell. So don't think that they're only something present in the epithelial tissue. We have given the example of the two type of junction from the muscular tissue rather than epithelial. That is for sure. When the cells are very much apart, the junctional complexes are not expected. Only when the cells are very much compact, then we expect some junctional complex between them. Well, that completes the junctional complex. Coming to the glands, I want you to learn one statement, please. Learn one statement that all glands, and I'm emphasizing on all glands are epithelial in origin. All glands are epithelial in origin. Aja, don't misunderstand. I am not saying ectodermal in origin. I am saying epithelial in origin. All glands, whether they are exocrine, endocrine, whether they are single cell or multicellular, All glands are, yes Bharat, you are right, all glands are epithelial in origin. All glands are epithelial in origin. Sir, salivary glands are epithelial? Yes. Sir, gastric glands to theek hai. You said in stomach, na, the epithelium infolds, invaginate, and this is a gland. But what about like pancreas? In the pancreas, two type of glands are there, exocrine, endocrine. There also it is epithelium. Yes, because it is the epithelial cells which are doing the work of secretion. The layer which is secretory is actually a modified epithelium. Whether your salivary gland or any gland, your thyroid gland even, in the thyroid gland, the follicles are there, no follicles. In the follicles, the epithelium which secrete the hormones, this is simple cuboidal. This is simple cuboidal. Chudu, you can see this, simple cuboidal. You can name any gland. Here the secretion comes, thyroglobulin. So any gland, if you see inside, they are modified epithelium. This is the reason whenever tissues are discussed in any book, glands are at the same time, glands are also discussed whenever tissues are discussed, right? Because all glands are epithelial. Now you know different type of glands in the body, for example, endocrine, exocrine. Exocrine are, exo means outside, crine means secretion, to secrete, where the secretion is outside or on any surface. Endocrine is that where the secretion is not on any surface, they are secreting within the body. That means all the secretion entering into the blood. All endocrine glands, they release the secretion where? Into the blood. All endocrine glands release the secretion into the blood. They don't require any duct or any tube for releasing their secretion. All exocrine glands, on the other hand, they require a duct or a tube to take the secretion out on the surface. Right? They require some duct. So, sir, what about salivary? Are these endo or exo? They are exocrine. They have ducts. Sir, that diagram in the book shown na, is that endocrine, exocrine, that diagram of a multicellular gland? They say it is salivary gland. Yes. Yes, it is exocrine gland. And if it is very far from the buccal cavity, there is a duct of it. Parotid glands, they have a Stenson's duct. Stenson's, scientist name Stenson described it. Stenson's duct. Submandibular gland, Wharton's duct, W-H-A-R-T, Wharton's duct. Then sublingual gland, ducts of Rivinus or Bartholin ducts. Bartholin duct, not Bartholin gland. Bartholin gland is a different thing. Bartholin ducts. So yes, their salivary glands are duct. They have ducts. All, whether small, big, branched, unbranched, multiple branched, they all require a duct. That means we can say that exocrine have the duct, endocrine don't have the duct. Is it correct? Yes, it is correct. Endocrine do not have the duct and exocrine have the duct. Achha sir, can we say that endocrine secretion is always hormone? You can give one name for them, we can call them hormones. Because you know what they are doing, they are carrying the message from one region to another region, okay? So there is a gland and there is a target. There is a target organ and it is carried by the blood. So we can call them, and what they are carrying a message. So we can call them as chemical messengers. Chemical messengers. Yes, they are hormones. Yes, you can call them as hormones, no doubt. Yes, you will read about some para-hormones in the first year or even second year of medical sciences. When in physiology and in pathology also, you will learn about some para-hormones. But even though the name hormone is attached to them, para-hormone, I'm not discussing that right now. I want you to go to the proper place to get the discussion of para-hormones. The hormones and para-hormones, these chemicals, are the secretion of the ductless or endocrine glands, right? Okay, now any other classification? There are hundreds of classification. One very common classification is whether the glands are unicellular or multicellular. Simple. If one cell is there which is secreting, they are unicellular. If many glands, many cells which are making a gland, it is a multicellular. We have diagrams in your book. I will also show those diagrams to you with a small correction in the labeling of a unicellular or a multicellular. Wherever you have mucosa, you have got these type of unicellular glands. Wherever you have mucosa, and where is mucosa in the body? Who can tell me? I want to see whose concepts of physiology are good, whose concepts of biology are good. Who will tell me? Where all you have mucosa in the body. Meanwhile, I'll put my pen drive to open the diagram. You tell me. Yes, one is the alimentary canal. Very good. Yes, Hari Surya. What else? Where else we have mucosa? Mucosa means mucus. Mucosa means mucus gland, mucus membrane. Stomach, intestine, part of alimentary canal. Very good. Any other canal? Any other passage? Esophagus. Okay. Any other passage? I take alimentary canal. Yes. Any other passage in the body covered or lined by mucosa? Any other passage? I'm giving you a hint again and again. Passage. Tract. I'm giving you a hint. Tract. Any other passage or tract lined by mucosa? Come on. I've given you sufficient hints. Bachcho, bolo. Any other passage? Yes, you are right. Respiratory passage. You are right. Respiratory passage is also lined by mucosa. Okay? A thumb rule. A thumb rule is anything exposed to outside, where anything can enter from outside, is lined by mucosa. Now, I want one more answer. Come on. Respiratory passage, I take that. Respiratory passage and respiratory tract, one thing. Okay, I take that. So one tract is digestive, one tract is respiratory. Two done. One more, give example of one more tract. One more tract, hint. This is also exposed. It is also exposed outside. Exposed to outside means, for example, any bacteria can enter into the nasal passage and can, infect. So this is exposed. Anything from outside, air go from outside. Okay, then digestive food go from outside. Or anything, whether hint going or coming, which is exposed, is lined. Yes, Shweta M, you are right, urinogenital. Very good. Jameel Sheikh, you are right, urinogenital. Naveed, no, don't call it excretory. Excretory word is not for that. You have to say urinogenital. The proper word is urinogenital. Urinogenital. Excretory is not, we don't call this name excretory tract. Okay, excretory waste are there, which are released through urine, through the urinogenital. Gametes come out through urinogenital. That also lined by mucosa. Very good. That also lined by mucosa. So all the tracts, I repeat, digestive, respiratory, and urinogenital are lined by mucosa. Okay? And mucus secreting cells or mucus secreting glands are cells only. They are cells. We can call them as goblet cell. Who can tell me the meaning of goblet? Who can say to me the meaning of goblet? Sometime I must have used this word goblet earlier. Goblet. Hint. I think you drank some juice, fruit juice, virgin mojito. Yes, you're right. Cup-like, glass-like. Yes, glass-like. You're right. That is the meaning of goblet. It is a type of a glass, a round one. That is called goblet. Okay, बच्चों, you come here and here is the glands. कहाँ गई? The glands epithelium में होंगी ना? बेटा मैंने I have not taken this gland in any of my even offline classes also. So they promise me that they will do them. Because we have to do this much, not more than that. But just labeling, you can see labeling here, So they have labeled the mucus as this one. Well, this is a simple columnar, not simple columnar, I think. It is ciliated columnar. This is a ciliated columnar cell. This is a ciliated columnar. Columnar है ciliated है? No, sorry. This is brush bordered. You might not see in your picture, because I have enlarged it too much. Then you can somewhat appreciate that this one is a brush border one, brush border. This is, I'll tell you, this one is ciliated columnar brush bordered. Ciliated columnar brush border. Ciliated columnar brush border. So the labeling that they have given in the book here, okay, so this is wrong. That is the reason I have labeled them by myself. So the one which is goblet cell or a unicellular gland is this one. This is a goblet cell. How beautiful it look like. See how beautiful it look like. This is a goblet cell. It look like that there is a cup inside. You can see this one. This is a cup. You can see the base of it somewhat here. So this is a goblet cell. And this is producing mucus. Here also mucus coming out. Okay. This is a goblet cell. You understand? That's what they say, goblet. Is the point clear to you? So this is brush border. How I can say they are brush border? Because they are blunt. They are like this. They are not the hair-like. They are like this. That's the reason I call them as brush border. Okay. Now, can you tell me where is this epithelium found? Just tell me where is this epithelium found? This epithelium has a columnar cell, simple columnar, because this is basement membrane. Okay, ये basement आ गए ना, fibers आ गए, fibers. तो ये basement membrane आ गई, यानी कि simple columnar है, और glands are there, mucous glands are there, and brush border. Simple columnar glandular brush border, and the first correct answer was given by Sajid Hussain. You are absolutely right, Sajid Hussain. It is in the small intestine. Very good. Second correct answer by Dwarkadish. Very good. Small intestine. I will not take intestine. I will not take stomach. No, it is only found in the small, not in stomach. Stomach does not have microvilli. Stomach does not have. When I am just telling you that these are microvilli, so my question is, where do you find this type? This is in the, where? It is in the small intestine. Only our small intestine has simple columnar, glandular, gland is there, and brush bordered. Brush bordered. Okay? Are you guys with me? समझ में आ गया ना? Small intestine है? Got it ना? Why small intestine? Why not in any other part? Stomach or large intestine? Because stomach or large intestine will not have this. And I have shown you in an enlarged one, this one. So this labeling is there. Well, that's enough I am saying to you. And this is a multicellular one. Now, where is the duct? Sir, इसमें duct कहाँ है? ये चिन्ना size duct is there, ना बेटा? This is the duct. I'll show you the duct, na. See the duct. ये duct है. Main glandular part. This is the main glandular part. If I would have shown you by a line diagram, how I would have shown, or any book would have shown, if any book has shown by a line diagram, a book would have shown it like this. Like this. The duct is there. and a sac is there. It is exocrine gland. Well, that's all about the glandular tissue. In the last class, I discussed about the different types of connective tissue. Please confirm. Maybe I am remembering some other class now because we have so many offline batches now we have. So maybe I am remembering of some other class. The classification of the connective tissue, 3 type of connective tissue, loose, dense, done. हो गया? Done? Okay? Very good. Okay, give me one example of dense regular connective tissue, DICT. Dense regular connective tissue. One example. Cartilage is not a connective. Cartilage is not done in that. Yeah, I know. Please tell me dense regular connective tissue. Tendon, very good. Tendon, leather ligament, very good. Dense regular is tendon or ligament. Dense irregular. Skin, very good. Hari Surya, first, the one who answered first. Skin, dense irregular. Durga Prasad, yes, it is skin, dense irregular. Okay, so give me 2 examples of loose connective tissue. Give me 2 examples of loose connective tissue. Easy, it's an easy question, you can tell me quickly. 2 examples of loose connect, yes, high. Now what is this name? I don't know. High, but yes, high has given this answer. HI. Areolar, adipose. Yes, you're right. So areolar and adipose are the 2 examples of the loose connective tissue. Very good. And skeletal connective tissue are bones and cartilage are skeletal, and fluid connective tissue, blood and lymph. Okay. And connective tissue in general is originate from which germinal layer? Everyone has to know this also, should know this also. Which germinal layer all connective tissues originate? Mesoderm. ये कौन बोल रहा है? Ectoderm. द्वारकाधीश, ectoderm. Who said ectoderm, beta? It is mesoderm. Yes, all connective. Sorry for doing like that. This is because we are very close to you now. We feel you as if there is a relation developed of a teacher and a kid. Even I also show this to my own daughter. You know what's her age? 23 years. Okay, so got it? Connective tissues are mesodermal. So if someone asks you what is the origin of blood, mesodermal. Origin of bone, mesodermal. Origin of cartilage, mesodermal. Then you can, all that full chart, you can say it is mesodermal in origin. Blood vessels, heart, blood vessels, all mesodermal. Blood vascular system, mottam mesodermal. Okay? So today I'll discuss some more examples, some more points of the bones here. Bones are, they form the endoskeleton of higher vertebrates. For example, endoskeleton from the bony fish. Endoskeleton from the bony fish to the mammals. Bony fish, then endoskeleton of the amphibian, reptile, birds and mammals. इनके endoskeleton में you will find the bones. Very good. Matrix of the bone is hard and rigid. It is hard, rigid. Rigid means it is non-pliable. You cannot fold it, you cannot flex it. It is very rigid, hard. And question is, why it is hard? Answer is because it is impregnated with a salt. It is impregnated with calcium salts. Yes, Blessy, you can call them non-pliable. Yes, you can call them non-pliable. I take that. Calcium salt, okay? Yes, you can call them because of calcium salts. The question is, which calcium salt? Main. Now there are so many. I want the main calcium salt. The main calcium salt. Yes, please. What is the answer? Let us see who can say which main. Is it calcium carbonate, calcium phosphate, calcium oxalate? Calcium hydroxide is not a salt, I think. It's a calcium hydroxyapatites. Yes, hydroxyapatite. So, better rather than using such a big word, Dwarkadish, you can just say to me, apatites are phosphates or carbonates? Calcium apatites are phosphate salts or carbonate salts? Okay, let me give you a hint first of all. Calcium carbonate is just 10%. It is just 10% of all the calcium salt. And I'm saying calcium carbonate only, but just 10%. And someone has given hydroxyapatite. The proper word is this only, apatites. I'm asking, apatites are carbonates or phosphates? Hi. Again, hi has given the correct answer. Hi, if you want me to stop calling you hi, just write your name, okay, so that we can call you from your name now. You are right, Shweta, phosphates. Hi also gave the correct answer. Sajid Hussain and Dwarkadish and all are now giving the correct answer. They are the phosphates. Prakash. Okay, Prakash. Okay, Prakash. So Prakash was the first one to say it is calcium phosphate, and hydroxyapatites are complex salts of calcium phosphate. We can call them as apatites. Okay? You want to learn as apatite or phosphate? My suggestion is, first year है ना अपना MBBS का, there you can learn hydroxyapatites. Right. For section B, if you want, you can learn, but I will ask you that the main calcium salt is calcium phosphate. Calcium phosphate. It is not carbonate, it is not oxalate, it is phosphate. Okay? Right. Acha bachcho, tell me, this is about the bone matrix is hard. Can you tell me the mature bone cell and immature bone cell? Immature, tarvata mature bone cell. First immature bone cell and then the mature bone cell. Let me see who can answer. Immature bone cell and mature bone cell separately. Yes, immature bone cell, Sajid Hussain. Yes, you are the first one to write correctly. Osteoblast and osteocytes. Very good. Osteocytes and osteoblast. So immature are blast cell. They are osteoblasts. And mature bone cells are osteocytes. Sometimes osteoblast modify into bone killer cell or bone remodeling cell or bone dissolution cell. They are called osteoclasts. Or my suggestion to you is you can ignore this. Just remember these two. Immature bone cell are osteoblast and mature bone cell are osteocytes. If it is required, I'll tell you that there are some cells which help in decalcification, bone shaping, bone remodeling, okay? And that, shall I tell you? You will remember na, Tino, all three, no problem, okay? Right. Sometimes osteoblast modify into osteoclasts. They are bone dissolution cells. Dissolution. They do dissolution. Decalcification. They will take out the calcium from the bone. They are bone dissolution. We have bone decalcification cells. They help in dissolution of the bone. They are the bone remodeling. They help in remodeling. They help in remodeling. Remodeling. They help in reshaping, remodeling. Osteoclast. Osteoclast. But so please note down that bones are the natural reservoir in the body. In the body, they are the reservoir of calcium. The mineral calcium is stored in the bone. In the bone, calcium is stored. So what you have learned here, okay, the matrix of the bone is rigid, hard and non-pliable. Why it is so? Because in the matrix calcium salts are there, and which main calcium salt present? Answer is calcium phosphate. Now I ask you, immature bone cell and mature bone cell. The immature bone cell are osteoblast. These osteoblasts can become osteocytes, or sometimes they can even become osteoclast. Osteocytes are the mature bone cell. If the question about this comes, you can answer osteocytes. Which mineral is stored in the bone, in the body? For the body, bone are the storehouse of calcium. Bones are the storehouse of calcium in the body. Okay, bachcho. So up till now, I think points are clear to you. I'll tell you one very important thing, more important than the histology of the bone. More important than the histology of the bone, everyone will learn it. Everyone will learn it. I just told you, my last line was, bones are the reservoir of calcium in the body. Acha, what happens now? Sometimes the blood calcium becomes low. And calcium is very important. Calcium is important for the contractility of the heart. Muscles, calcium is very important. If calcium is low, muscles become weak. Okay, so if the moment calcium becomes low, then the blood, this is blood vessel, I have shown the blood vessel, then the bone will ask the blood vessel, sorry, now the blood will ask the bone, please give us some calcium na. Okay, just we are borrowing you some calcium. Please give us some calcium. You have enough of calcium. You will not become weak, but right now we are having some deficiency. Please give us. Sometimes the moment calcium become excess, okay, immediately it will send it to the bones. Okay, bhaiya, store. You are a storehouse. Store it. We have enough. You can store it. So this keeps on happening in a very dynamic mode between the bones and the blood. Between the bones and the blood. And this is regulated by hormones. This is regulated by hormones. Okay. Now question is, which hormone can help in this and which hormone can help in this? Okay, the first question is, which hormone help the blood to borrow calcium from the bones? Which hormone help the blood to borrow calcium from the bone? Or another way of asking the same question, which hormone help in increasing the blood calcium? Which hormone help in increasing blood calcium? Yes, Shweta M has given the third time correct answer. Very good, Shweta. Your answer third time I am finding you that you are giving first correct answer, and the correct answer is parathyroid hormone. Parathyroid hormones. Parathyroid hormone will cause the movement of calcium from the bones to the blood, and opposite movement, it is easy now. Parathyroid, yes. Kavita has also given the same answer at the same time. So Shweta and Kavita, and Prakash, storehouse of calcium is sarcoplasmic reticulum in the muscle. But in the muscle, if there are sarcoplasmic reticulum, in the body, bones, you can see the storehouse, they can borrow. Okay, now tell me. Yes, Kavita, you are right. The first one to say Blessy also. Blessy is the first one to answer correctly. Blessy and then Kavita have answered. Both of them have answered. This is TCT. TCT. Okay, TCT. Thyrocalcitonin. 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 I hope now everyone understood, even Prakash also, that why I said that in the body, storehouse of calcium are the bones, because the moment we have got enough of calcium, that same calcium can be sent from the blood to the bones, okay? And if you have excess of TCT, the blood calcium become low. If you have excess of parathormone, the blood calcium become high. Therefore, we should not have anything in excess. They should be in balance. And both the hormone, PTH and TCT, we call it as PTH, okay? Both the hormone, PTH and TCT, they help in calcium balance in the body or calcium homeostasis. Calcium balance is also called calcium homeostasis. Calcium homeostasis. The two hormones are PTH, which actually increase calcium in the blood, which increase in the blood, calcium in the blood, and TCT, which actually decrease calcium in the blood, which decrease calcium in the blood. However, PTH has other way also to increase the blood calcium. This is one of the ways. There are two other ways of increasing the blood calcium that we will discuss in endocrine system. But right now, please understand that PTH, TCT, both of them are required to regulate the normal calcium in the blood. Okay, how I remembered. Okay, I remembered. So calcitonin. C से calcitonin, C से calcium, and C मतलब कम मतलब less, thakwa. And you can also learn, okay? So thakwa, calcium thakwa. Where thakwa? In the blood. It can decrease blood calcium. It can decrease blood calcium. TCT, thakwa, calcium thakwa, okay? Well, you can also develop your ways like I developed. And please remember about this. Now I'm telling you a very important point of this one, okay? Okay. Mammalian bones. Mammalian bones are characterized by, bones of the mammals are characterized by a pattern of the cell and the matrix, and this pattern is called Haversian system. This special pattern is called Haversian system. Haversian or Haversian system. But better please remember, this is only present in the mammals. No one will make a mistake next time. It is only a mammalian character. Haversian system, a system, a pattern called Haversian system. But before that, you know that the two skeletal tissues are bones and cartilage, and my question is, when I studied the bones, are the bones vascular or they are not vascular? Are the bones vascular or avascular? Tell me. Are these bones vascular or avascular? That means bones have a blood supply or they don't have a blood supply. People are saying, Bharat is the first one to say, correct answer. Bones are vascular. I change the color so that everyone can print this in your brain. Vascular. Bones are vascular. Ante they have got blood supply. Bones are vascular. Bones have a blood supply. They have blood supply. They have blood vessels inside. Blood vessels are very much present inside the bones. Blood vessels are very much present inside the bones. Are you guys okay now? Learn it. Bones are vascular. What about cartilage? What about cartilage? Vascular or avascular? Now, I will see only Sajid Hussain has given again correct answer. And Kavita, no, Dwarkadish also said correct answer. Jameer, name it is avascular. And let me see who else gave the correct answer. Durga Prasad Manish, avascular. And Muhammad Naveed, avascular. Yes, Shravan Kumar, avascular. You're right. Cartilage is avascular. Cartilage don't have blood supply. But bones have a blood supply. They are very much vascular. So this point also I wanted to discuss in general about the bony tissue. In general about the bony tissue. This is the bone balance, calcium balance in the body between bone and blood, and the two hormone PTH, TCT. And this is just, I was telling you about functionally syncytial, helping, what is the help of gap junctions to make functional syncytium, okay, and this is the mammalian bone, and Haversian system is a characteristic of mammalian bone. Now, I will not be going in further detail of that, but just a small idea about that bone. If I take a section of the bone, if I cut the shaft of a bone, I will find that outermost is white fibrous connective tissue. Obviously, outermost layer is a white fibrous connective tissue. It is a white fibrous connective tissue capsule, and you know that this is called periosteum. It is called periosteum, and there is an endosteum also. There is an endosteum also inside. Okay, so this is endosteum, and this is not the white fibrous tissue. It is a different tissue. We have not discussed about this tissue. We have not discussed, but in the first year, you will learn about this, that this tissue is very much present in our lymph nodes, in liver, spleen. Okay. So, this, I'm talking about this endosteum. This is periosteum, and this is endosteum. And this is the bone marrow. This is the bone marrow. The cavity called bone marrow. And now, if it is a mammalian bone, then how it is like, how you will see it. If it is a mammalian bone, it will look somewhat like this, churu. It will look like there are some canals. So cut section mein they are longitudinal. They are longitudinal in cut section. They look like this. These are canals. यार ये color change करो because blood vessel का color हो जाएगा. These are canals. Longitudinal canals, and surrounding the longitudinal canal is the matrix of the bone. But matrix of the bone is arranged in layers, concentric layers. Matrix, like for example, one layer of matrix, another layer of matrix, another layer of matrix, some layers here, layer of matrix, another layer of matrix, another layer of matrix, some here, layer of matrix. So this is one layer, another layer of matrix. Okay, matrix of the bone. I gave you some idea about the matrix. Okay, these layers are known as lamellae. Layers are called lamellae. Lamella मतलब one, plural lamellae. Interesting, na? Lamellae. The layers of matrix called lamellae around the Haversian canal, and in between the lamellae, where the two lamellae are meeting, there are some spaces, and that's interesting to note. There are spaces in between. Okay, so let me show the spaces. Which color shall I say? Okay, I'll show yellow color. There are some spaces, some empty spaces in between the lamellae. Some empty spaces are there. Okay, empty spaces are there. And you know what these empty spaces are called? They are called lacunae. One lacuna, many lacunae. Lacunae, empty spaces, lacunae. Empty matlab, it is not fully, it is filled with some fluid. There is nothing called totally air except in the alveoli. In the alveoli also little fluid is there. What you see in front of you, this 100 kilogram structure, 70% of this is formed by fluid, water. So you understand that what is the, extent of fluid in our body. Okay. So these are called lacunae. These are called lacunae ekada in between the two lamellae, layers of lacunae, layers of lacunae. And the beauty here is that these lacunae are all interconnected. Oh, lacunae are interconnected. All these lacunae are interconnected. For example, the two lacunae are interconnected like this. They are also connected with this one. They are connected with this one, this one. They all are interconnected. The lacunae are interconnected. The lacunae are interconnected. Oh my God. All these lacunae are interconnected. And this is interesting. Isn't it interesting? All lacunae. That means, suppose if we are so small that we can come inside this tiny canal. We are so small that we are inside this tiny canal. Tiny canal. What we can call these tiny canal? We can call them as canaliculi. Why we are calling them canaliculi? Because they are very tiny. They are very small. They are very tiny. Now suppose if you and me, we are so small that we can enter into this canal. All the lacunae, like millions of lacunae in the whole bone, all the lacunae are interconnected. So we can move into any lacunae. One lacuna to another to, this is a whole network of lacunae. What is a lacuna? It's a space filled with fluid, of course. Yeah, but matrix is not there. Matrix is not there. And but now please understand that inside these lacunae, what do you find inside these lacunae? Now it is up to you. You tell me the answer. What do you find inside the lacunae? Bacho, tell me what do you find inside the lacunae? Inside the lacunae, what do you find? Disconnected. So lacunae connected by canaliculi. My question is, what do you find inside the fluid? Okay, fluid. Very good, very good. Fluid, so I said na, that everywhere except in the lungs, there is no air as such. All fluid is there. Any cell is present inside? Anyone has ever seen a cell inside these lacunae? Yes, Bharat, these are osteocytes. Yes. Inside the lacunae, the cells called osteocytes are present. Osteocytes. Inside the lacunae, osteocytes are present. And what is the purpose of this canaliculi? Because osteocytes have protoplasmic extensions. Osteocytes have protoplasmic extensions, and by these extensions they can come inside these, these extensions can be inside these canaliculi, and by these protoplasmic extensions they all are interconnected. These are protoplasmic extension. I'll make a bigger one so that you understand. I will make a bigger one so that you understand. But you can see the diagram of the book, our NCERT book. They have shown some picture like this. They have shown a picture where so many such, extensions are there. All these cells have, they're not the roundish or oval cell. I'll show you. Osteocyte. How the osteocyte is like. Osteocyte has got some protoplasmic projections. For example, this is a protoplasmic projection. We have seen in the neuron, na? Like dendrites and axons, those are nothing but protoplasmic projections of a cell. Those are the extensions, protoplasmic extensions of the cell. These are the protoplasmic extensions. This cell is osteocyte. What you see in front of you is osteocyte. So, and I'll show you the color. I'm using yellow for lacuna. This is the lacuna inside which this osteocyte is present, lacuna. And these are the canaliculi of the lacunae. These are the canaliculi. So in very big size, you can understand that what we are trying to draw with those line that we are showing. Okay, so ये क्या है? इसको बोलेंगे lacuna. What are these? This is canaliculi. Single is canaliculus and plural is canaliculi. This one is canaliculi. These are canaliculi. Lacuna, canaliculi. And this cell is called osteocyte. Okay? And so with the help of these extensions, these are protoplasmic extensions. Protoplasmic extensions or projections of osteocyte. Isn't the diagram good? Okay. Protoplasmic projections of osteocyte. One osteocyte you can see inside. The lacuna and lacuna, the different lacunae all around, interconnected by these tiny canal called canaliculi. Lacuna actually means emptiness or only emptiness, okay? Lacuna. So these are the spaces that are there. Of course, there is a fluid inside, okay? So fluid is there, but these are the spaces which are where there is no matrix, okay? Now, where is this guy? Where is this all? Okay? This is this one. You see this one? Interconnected. You see this one? This system of concentric lamellae, layer of osteocyte, all osteocytes interconnected. In the center, there is a canal. That canal is called Haversian canal. There is a canal called Haversian canal. Inside the Haversian canal, there is an artery. Artery inside the Haversian canal. Artery. There is a vein. Inside the Haversian canal. Artery, vein, and also there is a nerve. But so you know that nerves are actually made by yellow color. The anatomical color for nerves is yellow. So in the first year you have to make a lot of diagrams. I mean, actually anatomy begin by, in the first class itself or second class, they will give you some, they ask you to open make a note, file, and then diagrams begin, right? So you have to use different colors like lilac, violet. Those colors we are not using here, but in anatomy, pencil and different colors are used. For artery, usual red color. For a vein, blue color. Capillary, both half red, half blue, and for nerve, yellow color. Okay, but so I hope. Now last thing, and this whole system is known as Haversian system. And last thing, what is this thing independently called? Any particular name of this unit? This unit has one Haversian canal surrounded by Haversian lamellae. What is this unit called? Anyone? Anyone who know? What is this unit called? Which is having one Haversian canal. Yeah, ये बच्चे तो intelligent हैं. Dwarkadesh, Bharat, Jamir Sheikh, and Kavita, you all are right. This unit is called ostion. This is called ostion. How to define? Ostion is defined by the layers of, or the lamellae surrounding one Haversian canal. And what is present inside the Haversian canal? Blood vessels and nerves. What is present inside the Haversian canal? Blood vessel and nerves. Blood vessel and nerves. Yes, bone is vascular. Bone is vascular. Okay, this is Haversian canal. Inside that you have blood vessels and nerve. But you know that the two Haversian canals are also interconnected. The two Haversian canals are also interconnected by these oblique type of, these canals are there. The two Haversian canals are interconnected. So this is Haversian canal. This is also Haversian canal. Anyone who can say what are these transverse canal known as? What are these transverse canal known as? Oh my God, बच्चों को तो सब पता है, and then you are blaming me that, sir, we have not done glands. Oh my gosh. You know them, yes, Sheikh, Jamir Sheikh, Dwarkadesh, Manish, you all are right. Kavita, all are right. You know how to call it? How to call it, Anyone? Anyone who can say how to call it? Chocolate prize. Okay, I see the spelling, but how to pronounce it? Chocolate. Obviously, I cannot give you through this camera, but whenever we meet, you can just remind me, sir, I gave that answer. Hint number one. Hint number one. Okay. There is a German car manufacturer. There is a German car manufacturer. These cars are also available in India. German car manufacturer. The name also begins with V. The name begins with V. Yes, you are writing the name of, I am asking how to pronounce that. Come on. How do you pronounce this car? How to pronounce? It is Volkswagen. We call it as Volkswagen. Volkswagen. We write it as Volkswagen. Okay? But pronounce it as Volkswagen. On the same ground, similarly, these transverse canals are known as Folksman's canals. Folk. Germans. If their name is starting with F sound, they don't write F. Like we English, in English we write F. For them, V is their F. So if their name is Folkmans, they will write as Walkmans. Their V is there, what V is V for us? Their V is their F, okay? So they write it as Walkmans, and they pronounce it as anyways, this is just interesting fact I wanted to share with you. However, your question answers will be written way, and how you pronounce them doesn't matter at all. But isn't it interesting that you know that the pronunciations of European language and the spellings, they do not match. Totally different pronunciation of all entire Europe. Spanish, French, German, they write something else, they pronounce something else. Anyways, bachcho, so now last question. What is present inside the Folkman's Canal? What is present inside the Folkman's Canal? Let me see who is the first one to answer. What is present inside the Folkman's Canal? Chipandi, Turga, osteocyte. Shweta M, first time your answer is wrong. Your answer is wrong. What is present inside the Habersian Canal? Habersian Canal, no. What was there? Blood vessels and nerves. Obviously, the same thing is present here also. Obviously, here blood vessels and nerves. Here also blood vessels and nerves. Here also same blood vessels and nerves. Blood vessels and nerves. Okay. In the Folkman canals also you have blood vessels and nerves. So Habersian Canal and Folkman's Canal, what do they have? Blood vessels and nerve, that is common. Then what is difference? One is longitudinal, one is transverse. One is longitudinal, one is transverse, okay? So transverse canal are Folkman's and longitudinal. Longitudinal canals are, yes, you know the name, and what inside them? What inside them? Poor English, I know, but just for, okay, using purpose, what's inside them? Dash and dash. Okay. So this is, you know, just for your revision, main calcium salt in the bone is calcium phosphate. This is one osteon. One unit is called osteon, and the two hormones which help in calcium homeostasis, the two hormones which help in calcium homeostasis, PTH and TCT. Okay, and cartilage is avascular, but bone is vascular. We have also seen the canals where a lot of blood vessels were there, and the matrix is rigid and non-pliable, and the name of the mature bone cell is osteocyte, and name of the immature bone cell is osteoblast. Okay, and last question of today's class. Last question. Tell me, which cell activity help in taking some calcium off from the bone and so that it can be sent to the blood? Which cell activity is happening now? Which cell activity? Come on. Yes, you are right. You understood the question before my asking the question. Yes, here is osteoclast activity. Osteoclast activity. Osteoclast help in decalcification, taking the calcium out, right? Osteoclast activity. Well, class is over. I'll share all these board work to you. This is for your revision. You can quickly revise what all are discussed today, but then this is of no use unless you practice question from the previous year papers, number one. Number two, your previous college papers, maybe it is our same college, Gosalites, or any other college, Chaitanya, Narayana, or any other, your previous year papers were there, and PYQ, previous year question, books are available in the market, and don't worry about the latest paper 2023. Both the papers, Manipur as well as All India, we have incorporated, and as I promise you, for the online student, if you are unable to get our study material, I will be sharing that to you in the group that I'll be sharing with you if you are unable to obtain our study material. But those who have our study material, they can use that. Those who have study material of the previous year, we have updated a lot, okay? So they will have a little problem in using that for homework purpose. However, it is not totally, waste, okay? So with little bit of modification, you can use that, okay? For that also, we will help you. For that also, we will help you. So this is all from my side, Bachu. God bless you all. Heart attack? What happened? Huh? What happened? Heart attack? किसको हो गया? Assignment? ऐप में assignment. ठीक है. Promise. What happened? Shweta M. Is everything all right? क्या हो गया इसको? I am aware of that. Really, very sorry for him. Very, very sorry. And he is the one, because we are here, he is the one, all of us are united here. So he called us in Andhra, okay? For us, the place Andhra was as new. Our GK was, many a times we forget that Andhra and Telangana are two separate. I'm just telling you the level of general knowledge our people have there. So we have no connection at all, but he is the one who called us, all of us, and give comfort so that all of us now, we have so many of us. But yes, I know. Heart attack, I know. Any other problem? Everything all right? Take care. God bless. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You can scan it. Tarvata, you can open it. And you guys know more than me how to use it. So I'm also doing the same. Keep it for my reference. कौन है? मूवी, ओके. कौन है ये? हिंदी है क्या ये? हिंदी सेलिब्रिटी है? ओके ओके ओके. व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कि प्रॉब्लम है कि